lifestyle, it is called. That is, the principle is if your insulin level in the body increases, you become obese, you get insulin resistance, and then you develop type 2 diabetes. This is the principle. Now, if this is the insulin that is causing all the problems, let us understand how it is secreted in your body. So I said beta cells of the pancreas secrete insulin. The insulin secretion happens in two different ways. One way is called as baseline secretion. And by that I mean that 24 hours, your pancreas would go on secreting small amounts of insulin. And that amount is about 18 to 32 units per day. And the peculiarity of the secretion, it is involuntary in nature, that it is beyond your control. You cannot do anything about it. The other way of insulin secretion is whenever you will eat, you will secrete insulin. And it is expected that out of the total insulin that you require every day, 50% should come by baseline secretion and 50% by your eating episodes. So the insulin that you secrete because of eating episodes, because the baseline is 18 to 32 units. So by eating episodes, you should secrete about 18 to 32 units per day. That is the expectation. Now the insulin that you secrete because of your eating episodes has three peculiarities. One, that every time you eat, you will secrete a particular amount of insulin. And this particular amount is different for different people. So if I call 4 people and give them one apple of 100 grams, one may secrete 5 units, other may secrete 10, third may secrete 12, and fourth may secrete 3 units of insulin. So it is different for different people. The second peculiarity is if a person is secreting 5 units of insulin by eating one apple, and I give him 2 apples or 3 apples to eat, then also he will secrete more or less 5 units of insulin. So it is not dependent on the quantity of food that you consume. So whether you eat less or more, you secrete similar amount of insulin. Now, the third peculiarity is, so first I said that every time you will eat, you will secrete a particular amount of insulin. Whether you eat less or more, you will secrete similar amount of insulin. And because insulin secretion is a cyclical process, that when anything is to be produced in the body requires some raw material. And when the raw material is used and exhausted, body takes some time to recollect that material. So that time required is about 55 minutes. The insulin secretion cycle is about 55 minutes. In real life, what it means that if you start eating and finish your meal in 55 minutes, you will secrete insulin only once. If you go beyond 55 minutes, you will secrete one more time. And this is linked with our lifestyle. So what I told you up till now, I said that the principle behind the lifestyle is if your insulin level is more, you develop obesity, you get insulin resistance, and then type 2 diabetes. And then I told you about insulin secretion, how it happens. I told that baseline secretion, you secrete about 18 to 32 units. And the peculiarity is it is involuntary in nature. The other way of insulin secretion is every time you will eat, you will secrete insulin. You are supposed to secrete about 18 to 32 units by your eating episodes. And then I told you the three peculiarities of this secretion, which happens because of eating episodes. First, that every time you will eat, you will secrete a particular amount of insulin. Whether you eat less or more, you will secrete similar amount of insulin. And third, once you secrete, you will not secrete for the next 55 minutes. I hope this is clear to all of you that how insulin is secreted.
Absolutely.
Now,
yes, sir. So if it is just for sake of our audience, if you understood all the three principles, please write 3 in the chat box. Yeah.
Okay.
Because these 3 principles are very, very important. Once you understand and follow what sir is telling, done. Amazing. So everyone understood 3 principles, sir?
Yeah, most of the people are giving 3. Very good. Okay. So I told about the insulin secretion. Now let us understand what is the function of insulin. Now insulin is a hormone that is responsible to utilize the end products of digestion. Now you may eat 3-4 food items, or if you go to a party, you may eat 100 items. But ultimately you are eating only 3 food components or what we say nutrients. One is carbohydrate, other is protein, and third is fat. So whatever you eat and in whatever quantities you eat, ultimately you are eating carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Now, after digestion, the carbohydrates are converted to glucose, proteins are converted to amino acids, and fats are converted to fatty acids. So whatever you eat and in whatever quantities you eat, ultimately after digestion, in your blood, you have glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids. Nothing more than that. And insulin is responsible to utilize them. Okay. Now, your body is made up of crore of cells. There are so many cells, and every cell requires energy to survive and function. And if you add up the energy requirement of all the cells, it becomes your energy requirement. And so we say on an average, you require about 2000 calories on an average. If you are overweight, if you are more into manual work, you will require more calories. But on an average, we say 2000 calories. Now, how do you get these calories? There are two legitimate fuels to burn. One is glucose. And if you burn 1 gram of glucose, you get 4 calories. The other fuel is fatty acid. So if you burn 1 gram of fatty acid, you get 9 calories. What does that mean? By burning fatty acids, you get 2.25 times more calories than burning glucose. So if you are a cell, what you like to burn, glucose or fatty acid? I'm sure you like to burn fatty acids.
Right.
Because you get more calories, gram to gram comparison. So all the cells of the body are happy burning fatty acids. It is natural for them. The only exception is the brain cells. They don't like fatty acid, they like only glucose. That's why about 70-80% of the blood glucose is used by the brain cells. So now you will feel that after digestion, now one more thing, that there are two fuels, but there is a priority also, that which fuel to be used first and which to be used second.
Mhm.
And the logic is very simple. Suppose I give you two packets, one packet of say peda or barfi, and other packet of namkeen, farsan.
Mhm.
Now, which of the two you will have to finish first? You have to finish the peda or barfi first
Mhm.
because they are milk products. You cannot store them for a longer time. The same logic applies that you cannot store glucose in large amounts. So body has to finish glucose first. So the priority is first glucose and then fatty acid. So when a situation comes that in the blood there is glucose and there is fatty acid, first body will touch your glucose. Once it is over, then it will go to fatty acid. Okay. Now you will think that after digestion in the blood, there is glucose and there is fatty acid, and the blood will circulate and go to each and every cell of the body. So what should happen? The glucose from the blood should go to the cell and cell should use it. That may be your understanding. But there is a problem. The problem is that on every cell, there is a lock. In technical language, we call it as insulin receptor. What does that mean? Unless this receptor lock is opened, glucose cannot go to the cells. So the first function of insulin is it is the key that will open the receptor lock and make glucose go to the cells. That is the first function. So it is the key that will open the lock. Now, insulin keys will open the locks, the glucose goes to the cells would utilize it, they're happy, satisfied. But in your blood, there is a lot of glucose. Why? Because Indian diets are full of carbohydrates. We eat about 80-85% carbohydrates. Very little proteins, very little fats. So almost there is a flood of glucose in your blood after you have taken your food, after digestion. So the requirement of cells is over, but still there is more glucose. What to do with that glucose? Now insulin will convert that extra glucose into a substance called glycogen and store in your liver. Now what is glycogen? Nothing but aggregation of glucose molecules. Now because it is to be stored in your liver, you cannot store 5 kg, 10 kg. There is a limit. That adult can store about 100 grams of glycogen in the liver. Now, what is the purpose of storing glycogen? Why nature has made this provision? Suppose your meal time is 9 in the morning. and you don't get anything to eat. And you come to the office. Now it is 10, 12, 1 p.m., 5 p.m. now. But you don't get anything to eat. Though you are not eating, but your brain is working, kidneys are working, heart is working, they will require energy to function. In that situation, your body will take out 100 grams of glycogen, break it down, and give you 400 calories. That is the reason why nature has made the provision of storing glycogen in your body. So you understood two functions of insulin. One, it is a key that will open the receptor locks and make glucose go to the cells. Second function, after the first function is over, if still there is glucose, it will convert that extra glucose into glycogen and store in your liver as glycogen. Now understand the third function, which is very important. After these two functions are over and still there is more glucose in your blood, which usually is because of our diet, insulin will convert that extra glucose into fatty acids and stores as fats. So many people now must have realized that they say that they are not eating oil, ghee, butter, but still they are putting on weight. They are getting obesity. So to become obese, to put on weight, you don't have to eat oil, ghee or butter. You can easily do it by eating chapati, roti and rice or idli. Because the glucose present in the wheat, jawar, rice is converted to fatty acids and stored as fats. And who is the culprit? The culprit is insulin. So if you understood this, you have come to the first aspect of the principle that I told you. That if your insulin is more, you will become obese, you will put on weight. Now let us go to the second and third part. That how it causes insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. For that, we have to go back to the history of human beings. When human beings we came on earth, we were not living in houses, we were living in jungles like any other animal. And in jungles, we lived for 6 lakh years. That's quite a long time. Last 10,000 years, we are out of jungle. Now compare this 10,000 years with 6 lakh years. So the sanskar that you are having are of a jungle animal. Because 6 lakh years sanskar compared to 10,000 years. And out of this 10,000 years, 7,000 years, you know agriculture. So when you are in jungle, what you are eating? No rice, no chapati, no idli. So the only thing you knew that time was killing animals and eating. That was the only thing that you knew. So the only food that you could get was killing animals and eating. Now you want to kill the animal and eat, you have to run behind the animal. You cannot expect the animal to come to you at 8:30 in the morning and say, boss, your breakfast time. Nature is not that kind. It's very cruel. That's why survival of the fittest is the rule. So you will have to run behind the animal. Not only run, but run faster than that animal. And even if you kill the animal, you should be lucky enough. Otherwise, a tiger or lion will follow you. And then you have to run away. If that is your situation of day-to-day eating, can you have the luxury of a bed tea and breakfast and brunch and a samosa and kachori and a masala pan and ice cream? Impossible. It was difficult to get food. If you get it today, next time could be 8 days, 15 days, 20 days later. Sometimes it may not happen, you will die. That was the reality of life. So our physiological cycle was feasting and fasting. Means what? When you get food to eat as much as possible. You require 2000 calories, you eat 4000 calories. Now insulin will convert that extra calories into fats. And you burn that fat when you don't get anything to eat for next 8, 15, 20 days. That was our life cycle. So our cells and bodies are designed for starvation and not for overeating. So if you look at the people who die because of starvation today, you will find 100 times more people dying because of overeating or eating wrong food. So when the cells are designed for starvation, insulin is a guest for the cell. Why? Because it comes when you eat. And eating happens randomly. You never know when it happens. So it may happen after 15 days, 20 days, 30 days. So insulin is a guest for the cell. And what is the expectation from the guest? Some guest comes to you at your place. You're happy. Guest has come, he has come for 2 days. You will enjoy with him, you show him all the scenic places in that area. But the guest will stay for 2 months. has come for 2 days, but stayed for 2 months. What happens? That time we cannot do anything. We say, Atithi Devo Bhava. But next time when he calls you and says that I'm going to come to you, you tell him, don't come, I'm going to some other place. That is your resistance to the guest because the guest has not behaved like a guest. Now, if you look at your lifestyle from morning till night, you go on eating indiscriminately from morning till night. From it may be a cup of tea with half spoon of sugar, but your insulin you have secreted because you know whether you eat less or more, you secrete similar amount of insulin. If you eat one apple, if you eat a pizza, if you eat a pav bhaji, if you eat a pani puri, whatever you eat, every episode of eating yours, you are secreting insulin. And suppose every time you secrete about 5 units of insulin and you eat 15 times in a day, that eating means what? Any episode that causes insulin secretion. It may be a chocolate, it may be a piece of cake in a birthday party. So you secrete insulin 15 times, that will be 15 into 5, 75 units of insulin. And you require how much? 18 to 32 units max. So that 45 units is extra. So the cells are annoyed. Cells are annoyed. They don't like this high level of insulin. They want that it should go back. It should go to zero level. And it never goes that level. So they're annoyed and they want to oppose that insulin level. What do they do? The same way that somebody, if you don't like and the fellow is coming, what do? You turn your face and go to other direction so that you will not see that fellow. Same way, the cells start turning their faces, means changing their shape. When they change the shape of receptor also changes. In a simple example, suppose there is a lock, you got a lock, and I hit the lock with hammer 10 times. Now what will happen? The lock gets damaged. Now the key cannot open the lock because the lock is damaged. So this now fellow will eat something. There is glucose in the blood after digestion. There is insulin in the blood. Now the insulin key will like to open the lock of receptor to make glucose go to the cells. But what has happened now? Lock is damaged. The key cannot open the lock. So glucose cannot go to the cells. So the message will from the cells will go to the brain saying that we are not getting food. Now brain will look into the bloodstream and what it will find? A lot of glucose. So the brain thinks possibly my keys are less in number or my keys are not functioning properly. In either of the situation, brain will think that instead of 5 units now, let us increase the dose to 10 units. So the person who was secreting 5 units of insulin after eating, he will start secreting 10 units of insulin after every eating episode. So what you could do with 5 units, now you require 10 units. This is called as development of insulin resistance. And with more insulin, some glucose will start going to the cells. But after again 3-4 months, more locks get damaged. More insulin resistance happens. Brain will make it from 10 to 20, then 20 to 30, 30 to 40. And ultimately a stage comes when in your blood there is a lot of insulin, there is a lot of glucose, but the locks are damaged now so much so, the receptors are damaged so much so, resistance has increased so much so that glucose cannot go to the cells. It is trapped in the bloodstream and passed through the urine. And because there is so much of glucose in the blood, body cannot utilize the second legitimate fuel, that is fatty acids. So it cannot use glucose, it cannot use fatty acid, two legitimate fuels. So it goes to the third fuel, which is the amino acids, which are present in proteins, which are present in muscles. Now using proteins to get energy is like mortgaging your house or mortgaging your ornaments. You will not do it happily, you do it out of compulsion. So body will never use proteins for energy purpose. But because it cannot use glucose, it cannot use fatty acid, it will go to amino acids. And then your muscles, you will have muscle loss, you have weight loss, you go to the doctor, and then your fasting sugar is 300, post lunch is 400, and then we label you as type 2 diabetic. So what you understood that weight gain, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes are the milestones on the same highway. And what is the trigger for all this is raised level of insulin. So you understood what is the cause of obesity and type 2 diabetes. Now, if you know that it is because of raised level of insulin, you have got the problem. What can be the solution? The solution can be reduce insulin level because more level cause the problem. Reduce insulin level. Now I have told you how it is secreted in your body. Now, can you do anything about your baseline secretion? Can you do anything? You cannot do because it is involuntary in nature. It is beyond your control. But can you do something about insulin that you secrete because of your eating episodes? You can definitely do it because it is in your control. So it is the eating episode that you can control. So from tomorrow, what you'll do? Eat less or eat less times. And I'm sure all of you will give the answer that eating less times is the solution to our problem. Now, once we know this, I will tell you about the lifestyle. What is the lifestyle? Dixit lifestyle. The lifestyle is eat twice in a day when you are really hungry. It's a physiological advice that hunger should be the stimulus to eat. So eat twice when you're really hungry. Now, there is no specific gap recommended between two meals. There is no timetable given for your hunger times. It is your own hunger time. It can be any two times. Now, I eat at 1 and 9. Somebody will eat at 8 in the morning and 6 in the evening. So it is different for different people. So don't bother about the gap and don't bother about the time. Eat when you are really hungry. And once you fix the time, eat at the same time. That is one thing. Second, finish your meal in maximum time of 55 minutes. Why 55 minutes? Because insulin secretion cycle is 55 minutes. If you go beyond that, you will secrete insulin one more time. And we don't want to secrete insulin multiple times. I'm not telling you to eat for 55 minutes. Understand? Many people confuse and they go on eating 55 minutes. I'm not telling that. I am telling finish within 55 minutes. You can finish in 25 minutes also, no problem. The third advice is reduce carbohydrates in your diet and increase proteins. So let us not go into the details of that, but I will be giving you the sequence of food items that you should eat. Automatically, that will take care of your proteins and carbohydrates. Fourth important thing is even if you are a non-diabetic, avoid sugar, jaggery, honey, sugar substitute, and sweets as much as possible because they are bad for health. You can live 100 years of healthy life without taking a pinch of sugar. So it is not necessary for your survival and health. If you are a non-diabetic, you can take some. But if you are a diabetic, don't take any because it is bad for health. Now, these are the advice about the diet. What I said, eat twice when you're really hungry. Finish in maximum time of 55 minutes. Reduce carbs, increase proteins, and avoid sugars and sweets as much as possible. With this advice of diet, there is one advice about exercise. What is the advice? You can walk 4.5 kilometers, or you can cycle 12 to 15 kilometers. You can play singles badminton 1 hour. You can even do Surya Namaskar at your home, but do 45 at a stretch. So any exercise in simple language, if you burn about 250 to 300 calories, that is good enough exercise. So this is the lifestyle that I am suggesting you. Now, this lifestyle is not to be followed by three types of people. That's very important. Understand this. Children below 18 years of age. I will be talking about the childhood obesity after this. They cannot eat 4 times. They cannot eat 2 times. The second category is pregnant and lactating mothers. Till the baby is 9 months old, they should not follow it. And the third type is patients with type 1 diabetes. Now, diabetes of two types, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 diabetes, also called as juvenile diabetes, that is diagnosed in childhood at the age of 8, 10, 12 years. And these children do not produce insulin in their bodies. So they have to take insulin injections throughout their life. And the principle of our lifestyle is we want to reduce insulin level. And your body is not producing insulin, this lifestyle will not help you. Type 2 diabetics will definitely be helped. But a word of caution. Don't immediately start following by just listening to my lecture. In this chat box, my coordinators are there. I will request them to write their name and mobile number. If Vishwas is there, I think Bolabattin is there. So they can write there. This you write in the chat box that I am follower, I am coordinator of Dixit Lifestyle. My name is this, my number is this. So what you should do, type 2 diabetics, you should send a message to them, WhatsApp message. So what happens? Suppose you are taking diabetic medicines 3 times a day, and you start following my advice of eating 2 meals a day. So you don't take meal and you take a medicine for diabetes, you land into hypoglycemia, sugar going down. So you may have giddiness, you may fall down, you may there can be anything that can happen. So don't jump into it. Follow the protocol. Unfortunately, there are many coordinators who have joined in this discussion. So they will you send them WhatsApp message, they will ask from you reports, they will guide you with the prescription and all that. So you will get a one-to-one consultation. And as you know, the campaign is absolutely free of cost. So there is no hidden cost also. Nobody is going to ask for a single rupee from you. So this is about who can follow, who cannot follow. Now, one important question people would be asking is what to eat in this lifestyle. But that is an important thing. What you can eat. So for that, you must know whether you are a diabetic, pre-diabetic, or non-diabetic. And we don't rely only on blood sugar. There are 2 important tests that you should do. One is called HbA1c, that is glycosylated hemoglobin. Now,
Should
up to
I write
5.6 is
it in the chat,
normal.
sir? Should I write it in the chat? HbA1c?
HbA1c and fasting insulin. Yeah.
Okay.
So HbA1c should be done by HPLC method. It is the gold standard, HPLC method. So up to 5.6 is normal. 5.7 to 6.4 is called as pre-diabetes. And 6.5 onwards is called as diabetes. And understand that 50% of diabetics don't know they have diabetes because it is a silent killer. It will not give you symptoms. 50% people would get symptoms, others won't get symptoms. So it's a good idea if you are 30, 35 years old, if you have got a parent who is diabetic, it is a good idea to go for HbA1c and fasting insulin. Now, fasting insulin, many times the lab will confuse it with fasting sugar. You have to tell them that I don't want sugar, I want insulin. It's a hormone. So, in a non-diabetic person, it should be up to 10. More than 10 is called as pre-diabetic. So, you can go to the lab. Fortunately, there are many labs which collaborate with the campaign. This is the campaign that we call World Free of Obesity and Diabetes. Metropolis helps us throughout India. Otherwise, these 2 tests may cost you about 1,300, 1,400 rupees. But if you are from the campaign, if you say that I am from Dr. Dixit's campaign, they will take 650 or max 700 rupees from you anywhere in it. So you can take advantage of that. You can do it at any lab of your choice, but this is where you can get concession. Okay. So now if you are a non-diabetic, in that context, that your HbA1c is up to 5.6, insulin up to 10, and you are not taking medicine for diabetes, what you can eat? You can start your meal with fruit, dry fruit, nuts, or sweet dish. Sweet dish, if you are going to take, I'm not telling you to eat sweet dish every day. But because you are non-diabetic, you can take sweet dish, but take at the beginning of the meal, not at the end.
So if you want to take sugar, take it in the beginning, but you recommend not to take it.
As far as possible, avoid. But if you have to take it, take at the beginning. This is for non-diabetic, I'm telling you. Then you take a bowl of salad. A bowl of salad means if you cut a medium-sized cucumber and a medium-sized tomato, whatever material, that much amount, you should eat salad. You can eat cabbage, flower, whatever you want, no problem. Then, after that, you eat bowl full of sprouts. The sprout can be raw, or it can be cooked as per your digestive power. You can replace that with 2 boiled eggs, or you can replace it by soya chunks, about 35-40 grams of soya chunks. So first you are eating fruit, dry fruit, nuts, or sweet dish. Then you are eating salad. Then you are eating sprouts. And then you can eat whatever you get to eat. It can be rice, it can be chapati, it can be dal, vegetable, veg, non-veg, whatever you like, you can take. Same way you have to eat both the times. If you're not much hungry in the night, first 3 items you should eat as it is. Other items you can reduce. In between 2 meals, if you're hungry, because today you're eating 5-6 times, tomorrow you'll start eating twice. So you'll have psychological issues, maybe headache, maybe some weakness you'll feel. So what you can take in between two meals? You can take water, you can take thin homemade buttermilk. That is, take 2 spoons of curd and make 200 ml of buttermilk. If you don't have hypertension, you can put salt in that. But otherwise, don't put anything in that. Then you can take plain green tea, or black coffee without any flavor. You can even take tea or coffee with 25% milk, but do not add sugar, jaggery, honey, or sugar substitute to that. And these items you can take as many times as you want, as much as you want in a day. There is no restriction. You can also take tender coconut water once in a day, but don't eat the pulp. Pulp you can keep in the bowl and eat in your mealtime. You can even eat one tomato in a day. I not said tomatoes, I said tomato. And understand water is the best. I have given you this food item because in our experiments we found it won't cause insulin secretion. This is for non-diabetic. I think this is clear to non-diabetics. Now, if you are a pre-diabetic or diabetic, what you can eat in the meals, start with 4 almonds and 4 walnuts or half fistful of groundnuts. You can soak it overnight and eat. After that, you eat a bowl of salad. Same way like a non-diabetic. But you should not eat carrot and beet. That increases blood sugar. Other things you can eat. Followed by that, a bowl of sprouts or 2 boiled eggs or soya chunks. And then you can eat whatever you get to eat. But in a case of diabetic and pre-diabetic, no sweets and no fruits. No sweets, no fruits. Now, in between two meals, if you feel hungry, you are a pre-diabetic and diabetic, then what you can take in between two meals? You can take water, you can take thin homemade buttermilk, you can take plain green tea, black tea, or black coffee without any flavor, without addition of sugar, jaggery, honey, or sugar substitute. These items you can take as many times as you want, as much as you want. So the other three items, the tea, coffee with 25% milk, tender coconut water once in a day, or tomato once in a day are not allowed for diabetics and pre-diabetics. So this is about what you can eat. Now, if you follow the lifestyle, you lose about 6.8 kg weight on an average in 6 months. On an average, range is 3 to 45 kg. If you've got more weight, you will lose more. You will lose your tummy. How much? 1.5 inches in 6 months. Range is 1 to 4 inches. Your HbA1c will go down and your fasting insulin will go down. And if these four things happen because of any lifestyle, no doctor on earth can say it is bad for him. Every doctor has to accept it is good for it. So my suggestion is don't trust anybody, trust your own experience. These are all objective parameters. Tomorrow measure these 4 parameters, follow what I said for 3 months, again measure the parameters. And if you really get all the benefits that I have said, then trust your own experience and make it a lifestyle and promote this idea. This was about obesity and diabetes. Now coming to childhood obesity. Now what happens is these are all lifestyle diseases. Diabetes, obesity are lifestyle diseases. Why? Because in your family, many times what happens is the father is obese, mother is obese, and child is also obese. So many people think it is genetic. It is not genetic. It is because the family doesn't only give genes, it gives lifestyle to the child. That whether your child will drink milk or it will drink tea, it depends on your lifestyle. Whatever the mother will teach, the child will do the same way. Whether you give him on only Maggie and other things to eat, or you give him some healthy food, it depends on the lifestyle of the family. So, childhood obesity is a serious problem. There are about 8.5% children in below the age of 18 years are obese, and 12.5% are overweight. This is a very serious problem, especially in the affluent families. So we have started a campaign for the children, which we call a student awareness program. And we know that it is the insulin that is causing all the problem. So in this campaign, we give 4 advices to the children. The first one, we say that you can eat maximum 4 times in a day. Adults can eat twice. These children cannot eat maybe 3 times or 2 times, but they can maximum eat 4 times. That is good enough. Then they should reduce sugars and sweets as much as possible. That is another, and that is the role of parents in the family. If you for every celebration you will make sweet, then the child gets addicted to sugar. So try to avoid that. Instead, you try to give them proteins. Instead, try to give them nuts, almonds, walnuts. That's good for them. Third thing is never touch a cold drink.
Very good.
Cold drink is the greatest enemy of this childhood. What happens is 100 milliliter of cold drink has got 11 grams of sugar. And if you give a cold drink of 500 ml to a child, the child will finish in 10-15 minutes. So actually the child is eating about 55 grams of sugar.
Is
So
it
that
with
is the
soda
third.
also, sir? Cold drinks are okay, but is it okay with the, I mean, is it the same thing with soda also? Because
No, soda doesn't have any calories. Soda doesn't have calories. But then who will drink soda?
children nowadays, they make fresh lime soda and salty.
No, but fresh lime soda has got sugar in that many times.
Weak and salty. Yeah.
So sugar is bad. So lime water is okay. Lime water they can take. So that is the third thing, that never touch a cold drink. And fourth, very important, stop playing football on your mobile and go to the ground and play for 1 hour. If you do that, I think the problem of childhood obesity can be sorted out. Of course, there are some children who have hormonal problems, there are some children who have genetic problems, but first we have to attempt for the lifestyle modification. And if you don't get improvement because of that, then only you can go to expert pediatricians and then they can solve your problem. So this is what I had to say about the topic of obesity, diabetes, and childhood obesity.
Thank you so much, sir. And we have a lot of questions.
Very good. So you can ask me those questions, I will answer. Or you want me to read the chat box?
No, I will read it for you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So first question is being asked by Raj Gopal and
And just a minute, just before actually you ask the question, I'm very grateful to you today for inviting me for this webinar, because there is a golden coincidence that you must be knowing, and it was introduced by Rama also, that this campaign started due to inspiration by a great legend of this country, and that is late Dr. Shrikat Jichkar. And today is the birth anniversary of Dr. Jichkar. So we celebrated that in our center today, and I'm very grateful to you for organizing this webinar on this auspicious day for us. Yes, you can ask the question.
So now I feel that it is some plan from above, and everyone who has taken their time out to join this, may all they be, may all be benefited. Thank
Yes.
you everyone for joining on this auspicious day. And sir, thank you so much that you agreed. I know how busy you are, and for any doctor, it's very difficult to give so much time. And you are so much busy in more other things, but even then you took time out. That is our, we are grateful for that, sir.
I always feel that if 100 people listen to me, and if I can help one diabetic out of that, his medicines are stopped, I have done my job that day.
True. And the objective of these webinars is also to create awareness and help our own brothers and sisters, our own family members across the globe.
Yeah.
So let us take this question. I was taking this question, so it has gone up. Yeah. So how to deal with diabetes? Okay. How to deal with diabetes? Eat twice, and acidity, eat more times.
So the question, I think, is about acidity. So what happens is, many people are afraid to follow the lifestyle because of the fear of acidity. Because the doctors, they have told them to eat multiple times. But I will ask the question to the person that by eating multiple times, whether the problem of acidity has vanished. It has not. That's why you are talking about acidity. 30% success stories in the campaign are of the people who say their acidity has gone. Because the important cause of acidity is not eating when you are hungry. So if you eat twice when you are really hungry, 80% of the problem of acidity will vanish. Drink enough water between 2 meals, 10 more percent problem is vanished. If you are habituated to take anti-acidity medicine, you may require it maybe for 8-10 days. You take it. But in a month or so, your acidity problem will vanish like anything. So don't bother. You can follow the lifestyle.
As you rightly said, sir, many nutritionists and doctors, they suggest eat multiple times, small quantity.
Yeah, they say that. Yeah.
So thank you for asking. And next question is by Madhumita ji. If once the diabetes get reversed, can we get the normal food without the sequence of the lifestyle, or we again get diabetes?
Okay. So that's a very pertinent question, because what happens is now in the campaign there are some people who are not taking medicines for diabetes for last 7 years, 6 years, 5 years. Does that mean the diabetes is cured? So we cannot say it as of now. But then what happens once your diabetes is controlled with your medicine, then you can experiment on yourself. You can experiment on yourself. Maybe you can start eating some sweet once in a week and then check your HbA1c after 1 month. If you find it is not increasing, then maybe you can continue eating that. But as I said, that sweet is not good for health. And following the sequence, don't take it as a punishment. Following the sequence of food items takes care of your fiber, your vitamins, minerals, and proteins. So don't ignore that. Whether you are a non-diabetic or diabetic, the sequence helps you to get all the important nutrients that you require.
So do it joyfully, happily.
Yeah, it's don't take it as a punishment. Because many times what happens that people immediately start eating only chapati or roti, and they will eat only sabji, and they don't eat anything else. That's why they are deficient in iron, they're deficient in proteins and all that. So if you follow this sequence, it will help you in all ways.
Yeah. All the micronutrients also you will get if
Yeah,
you're doing the
you'll
sequence.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next question is by Digambar ji. My question is, what correlation between lipids and diabetes? What are the effects?
So what happens is the glucotoxicity and lipotoxicity go hand in hand. So if you find a patient who is diabetic, his HbA1c is suppose 10, his triglyceride is also 250, 300. But once, if you start following it, what happens is glucose goes down. And glucose goes down, side by side, your triglyceride also will go down. So immediately when you are diagnosed with diabetes and triglycerides are more, there is no need to take medicine to reduce your triglyceride or even the medicine to reduce your glucose. You have to follow the lifestyle. You follow the lifestyle. In our center, we are not giving medicine to patients whose HbA1c is 10, 11, 12. We find out whether they have got any end organ damage or not. Like their kidneys are okay, nerves are okay. Then if everything is okay, we advise them lifestyle. And we have seen people with HbA1c of 16.7 going to 6 in 4 months without taking a medicine, without spending a single rupee. And there are multiple examples. Maybe there can be 100 examples at least whose HbA1c is more than 10 and they are reduced to non-diabetic state.
Wow.
Great.
That is something very inspiring.
Mm.
So just like sir said, experiment it and see. Okay, so Aparna ji asking, does eating nuts follows insulin secretion?
Yes, because nuts has got proteins and fats, and proteins cause insulin secretion. And anyone can actually test for herself or himself. You take your nuts, go to the lab in fasting state. Suppose you go at 8 in the morning, give your blood for insulin testing. First sample, eat the nuts. Again, give sample after 10 minutes and 60 minutes. And measure insulin at three samples which you are given. Suppose at 8 in the morning, suppose it was 10, and after 10 minutes it becomes 15, and after 1 hour it becomes 25. It means it has secreted insulin. If it was 10, it becomes 8 and then becomes 4. It means insulin not secreted. So you can go to the lab and you can decide for yourself whether insulin is secreted or not. And accordingly, you can take a call.
Wow. So in Heartfulness also we say you are experimenter, you are experimenting on yourself, and the result of experiment also be you only. So just go
Correct.
and experiment on yourself. Wonderful. Wonderful, sir. Next question is by Soumya Kantaji. Sir, in our home, mother is fond of cold drinks. Acha, fond of cold drinks. So same happening to kids. It is the problem. Grandparents and parents, so likely, like sir said,
Yeah,
grandparents.
ultimately, the child will follow the parents. child will follow the family. So it is up to you. What do you want?
Yeah. So this webinar will also be put on the YouTube. You can send recording to everyone whom you want. So suppose father is watching and father wants mother to watch and then follow, you can send a recording so that you don't have to say it and sir would be saying it, so it would be easy for you to get it followed.
Yeah, let them get inspired by listening, right? Yeah, very true, ma'am. Very true.
Sometimes when we say they don't understand, but when some expert says, and I have experienced it first time, like first hand experience I have, how I reduce my weight. So just give it a try. It's really wonderful, very easy. What I found in this lifestyle Dixit diet pattern, it's very easy and simple to follow. So just give it a try. So Manisha ji is asking, once diabetes is reversed, is it permanent? Is it permanently reversed? She is asking.
I think I answered that question, that we can, as of at this point of time, we cannot say that diabetes is cured. We can say that it is controlled without medicine. And then once you reach that stage, you have to experiment on yourself and you can find out whether your diabetes is reversed or not. So if you eat sweets also and your sugar is not increasing, your HbA1c is not increasing, it means you can eat then. There's no problem.
Nice, nice. So someone is saying, Surya Pawarji, thank you, Dr. Dixit, for explaining the facts about diabetes so simply and making it understandable for the lay person. Much appreciated. Thank you, Surya ji. Please share this recording with your near and dear ones so that they also get benefited, because we are with sir in this campaign of Free India with obesity and diabetes, and he is doing everything free of cost. Like he said, no one will charge you a single penny. Just experiment on yourself and be healthy and happy. That's what Heartfulness, sir's organization, Right Minds, all of us are on the same page on this. You should get benefited.
I could read two questions in they popped up. I could see the two questions. One is that people are asked about labs, which labs they can go. So Metropolis, I have given one name, but if you are in a place like Pune, suppose, then there are this Dhande, Golwilkar, and many labs in Pune. Almost all labs in Pune will give you concession. Apollo is one lab that also gives concession. So you can go to any lab that they will give you concession. One more person has asked about a question whether this diet will cause muscle loss. So what happens is, the cause of muscle loss, I have told you that if your body is not using glucose and fatty acid, it will use amino acids. And now you are eating twice enough food. There's no restriction on your food, and actually you are eating healthy food, and you are exercising also. So there is no question of losing any muscle. And when you lose your tummy, that proves the point that it causes fat loss and not muscle loss. I think few things, if I can tell about the campaign, in the sense people would like to know more about the campaign. So there is a website, www.drdixitlifestyle.org. The doctor is dr dixit.org.
I have typed it in the chat box, sir.
Yeah.
www.drdixitlifestyle.org.
And there is a YouTube channel called Dr. Dixit Lifestyle YouTube channel. On that, we post videos on every Tuesday and Friday. They are in Hindi and subtitled in English. So anybody can take advantage of that. There are more than 300 videos and there are 80,000 plus subscribers to the channel. So I'll request all of you to go to the channel, subscribe to it and share, because information is power.
Right.
And only one more thing, one important thing that I want to tell all is, we are going to organize Dixit Lifestyle Half Marathon on 17 November 2024, which is Sunday. 14 November is World Diabetes Day. And this will give an opportunity to followers of the lifestyle to stand in solidarity, because there are doctors and patients who are for medicines. And we are the exceptional people who are saying that it is the lifestyle that can help you. So if you are following the lifestyle, if you are a sympathizer of the lifestyle, do register for this, and you can get information about this on our website as well as YouTube channel. And my
Okay.
coordinators also can help you. Yes.
Nice.
Great. So 14th November is a Children's Day, sir. Yeah, 14th November
Yeah.
Children's Day on account of good. Yes, ma'am, somebody's asking the coordinator's number. Indira
Yeah, Shreyas,
is asking.
Shreyas is also there, who has just shared the YouTube channel link. She is
Yes.
also my coordinator. I think there are at least 7, 8 coordinators who have joined. There is Bhavna Shah has joined from Sangli.
Hmm.
Srinivas Bolabatti has joined from Solapur.
Hmm.
Then Shreyas has joined from Pune.
Hmm.
So there are many. So as I said in the chat box, you will find people saying that they are coordinators of the lifestyle. And they'll give their WhatsApp number to you. You can contact them.
Sure. And we are also sending our number in case you just miss it here and you want to get it connected. You can send message to us also, and I will take all the numbers from sir. I'll compile the list and share with you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
If sir, you have these many books, one book that you would recommend everyone to start with.
Actually, what happened is this: there are other books are on health education, and the books range from the books that I wrote for children. These are the books of health songs. Then there is a book about sex education. There is a book about blood donation. Different books like that. There is a book on the health days that we celebrate in a year. But now recently, I am focusing more on weight loss and diabetes remission. So I will suggest all of you to read the book Effortless Weight Loss and Diabetes Remission. This book you can get on Amazon, Flipkart. This is published by Manovikas Prakashan, Pune. And one more thing, if you are in Pune, Nagpur or Nasik, in these 3 cities, we have got diabetes reversal centers which run every day. And if you ask my coordinators, they can give you the address and other things also of those centers.
Sure. So one more question has come, sir.
Okay.
Our time is up, but one more question has come. What's the best time to incorporate a glass of milk in the diet for both kids and adults? Will milk also cause insulin secretion?
Yes, milk, if you take in between 2 meals, it will cause insulin secretion. But you can take it in the meal. So you can take rice and milk, you can take chapati and milk. So if you want to drink a cup of milk, then you can drink with your meal. There is no problem. At the end, you can take it. That's a better time. At the end of the meal, you can take milk.
So there are more questions, and if I overeat during first meal, will it be okay to eat less during second meal?
Yeah, normally what happens is people are more hungry in the afternoon, right, for lunch, and they are less hungry in the dinner. So what I have suggested is the first 3 items you continue eating as it is. Remaining items you can reduce. There is no problem. Generally, what happens is our lunch is 60% of calories and dinner is 40%, something like that. So we say major meal and minor meal. So some people have lunch as a major meal, some people have dinner as a major meal. So you can reduce. There is no problem, but don't reduce the first 3 items.
So suppose after this sequence, whatever food they are having, they can have it as much as they want.
Yes, as much as. And the beauty of the lifestyle is you cannot overeat. After eating these 3 food items, you will not overeat, and you will be aware of the food that you are eating.
No, it happened with me, sir, because after eating nuts and then sprouts and then salad, everything, you feel why to eat rest of the things. Done.
Right. Somebody has asked about medicines.
Yes. Should
So it's a
intake
good
of any
question.
medicine or multivitamin tablets also release insulin? Or
Yeah.
we
So what
can
happens
take
is only the thyroxine that you take for hypothyroidism is only one more coordinator, Smita Pole, has also joined from Borivali, and she has given her number. So she also will guide. So thyroxine that is given for hypothyroidism can be taken in the morning because that is advised the first thing in the morning. That you can take as it is, no problem. But all other medicines, as far as possible, try to take in 55 minutes of meal time. Because most of the medicines are sugar coated. The tablets are sugar coated, so that it may cause insulin secretion. We are not tested for all the medicines, but it's a good idea to take with the meals.
Sometimes, sir, doctors advise medicine thrice a day. Some medicine. So in that
Yes.
case, does
So
life?
what happens is most of the medicines are, especially we are not worried about medicines that you take for an acute infection. Maybe the antibiotic is given for 3 times. So get cured of that and then you start following the lifestyle again. For 3-4 days, you can eat 3 times, no problem. But all other medicines that you have to take every day, like hypertension, these medicines are given either once or twice. So you can adjust into your meal times. There is no problem.
So if there is gap of 3-4 days, 5 days in between, that is okay. Whenever we are cured, we can again restart the.
So you are asking me whether if you break the lifestyle, what will happen? If you follow 100%, you get 100% result. For whatever reason you don't follow 100%, you don't get 100% results.
No,
But
so
if you are
suppose
sick,
someone gets viral or some
yeah,
infection
if you
or
are
something.
sick, then naturally you cannot follow. Then okay, 4-5 days you will not follow. But again, start following. Many people, the problem with people is if they don't follow today, tomorrow also they will feel that why to follow now? I have broken the lifestyle. I not followed it. So that they go into that guilt. So don't have that. What in Hindi it is said, jago tab savera.
तब से शुरू कर दो.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so one more last question I guess we can take. In between meals, if we take tea, coffee, that you already answered, I guess. So you can.
Yeah, 25% milk without sugar, jaggery, honey sugar substitute for a non-diabetic is allowed.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, Shreyas ji. So I read that message. Maybe you can send me message and I will connect back with you by taking number of sir and then I'll take all the details from you. Thank you so much, Dr. Dixit, for joining us on this webinar.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
this webinar. Thank you so much.
We
I'll
also
be
have
happy to
WhatsApp
come
group.
again.
Yes, I would like you to invite time and again, sir. And we also have a WhatsApp group of all the parents from across the globe. And I will also share all these details there. And people who want to join something for benefit of their children, because we keep sharing information about cognitive abilities, how to work on that. 95% offerings of Artfulness are also, free. So you can take benefit of that, integrated with the lifestyle. Meditation will help you regulate your, energy, channelize your mind's energy, and you will be more benefited. So maybe you can try to do that, and I will send you the link for that as well. Thank you so much everyone for joining. And as Dr. Dixit said, we are really delighted at the end also that he has already said that he would come again. Thank you so much, sir.
So much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Subhi ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.